The city of Tempe is working to expand its affordable housing options by way of the city's Affordable Housing Strategy and Hometown for All initiative, which includes a new housing hub in North Tempe. And joining us now is Tempe Mayor Corey Woods. Mayor, good to see you again.
Good to see you too, Ted.
Thanks for coming in here. Affordable Housing Strategy and Hometown for All initiative. It's a mouthful here, but what does it mean?
So there's a lot going on in the city of Tempe at all times. So the Hometown for All strategy was first passed by the council in late January of 2021. And the goal was to try to find ways to acquire more property to create more affordable and workforce housing opportunities in our city. To date, we've had $9.4 million in city investment and over $22 million in donations and pledges towards that program. So it's been exceptionally successful so far. I should also mention, too, just as a note, though, we have 3 bond questions on the ballot this coming November 5th for all Tempe residents. And bond question number 3 specifically is to have $32 million new dollars go into that affordable housing fund to even further accelerate those gains.
Okay, and I want you to define affordable housing here. What does that mean?
So affordable housing is based on a formula called area median income. And so as an example, we will tell people there was a workforce housing project that just got approved in the city of Tempe at the southwest corner of Kyrene and Guadalupe about 3 weeks ago. 229 units, 100% workforce development, but it's mostly for people making between $40,000 and $60,000 a year, the workforce product that we just approved. But it means something a little bit different. But the reality is we're trying to make sure that anyone who wants to live or work in the city of Tempe can afford to do so, whether they're living in affordable housing, workforce housing, or market rate housing.
So you said workforce is 40 to 60. What's affordable?
So affordable is usually anywhere between what they would call 0 to 60% of area median income, and workforce is typically between 60 to 120% of area median income.
Okay, gotcha. So the state of stick with affordable housing. What is the state of affordable housing in Tempe right now?
It's very challenging. The fact of the matter is we're doing everything we can, the council and I and our staff, to create more affordable housing opportunities, both rental and home ownership for residents of our community. So as an example, on December 4th, we have a project called La Victoria Commons that's breaking ground. It's a partnership with Copa Health and Newtown Community Development Corporation. They're going to be building 104 affordable for-rent apartments, but also 19 affordable for-sale townhomes. So we're trying to find ways to increase supply of both rental and home ownership product in that affordable category for people who need it.
Now, is that new housing hub in North Tempe, or is that something different?
That's a different one, actually. That one is sort of out in the Victory Acres or La Victoria neighborhood that's right around Apache Boulevard and the 101 freeway. But the North Tempe one, I'm really glad you brought up. We actually purchased that property from Michael Pollock at the end of June. There's an old food city there and a lot of adjacent retail. What we're looking to do is 3 things. We're looking to bring in mixed income housing to that development with a minimum of at least 50 affordable units on site. We're looking to also make sure that there's still a grocery option for the people in that neighborhood. And we're also going to be building a police substation along with the training facility.
What are you hearing from neighborhoods, whether it's Kyrene and Guadalupe or up here in North Tempe with this particular hub? I mean, there's got to be some NIMBY going on here.
It's the one in North Tempe was overwhelmingly positive. And the reason why is for a long time, a lot of the residents sort of, as we say, north of the river, felt like there was a lot of economic prosperity going on in downtown, a lot along Apache Boulevard with the existence of light rail, and a lot in South Tempe. But they felt like they were sort of the forgotten portion of the city of Tempe, and there wasn't much economic investment happening in their community. So they were the ones that really pushed us to acquire that center to revitalize it. The same way the residents along Apache Boulevard pushed us to acquire the center at Apache and Dorsey that we purchased in 2021. So overall, I would say overwhelmingly positive from the people in the city of Tempe about these developments.
But you got to be careful because some of these neighborhoods, and I'm imagining Kyrene and Guadalupe might be one of them, they're a little hesitant to get this kind of stuff going on in what they consider already kind of what they want to live in.
For the Kyrene and Guadalupe project specifically, we had about 14 people who actually were in opposition for that project during the second public hearing, but also 13 people who came out and spoke in favor of it. So roughly about 50-50. And so the reality is, you're always going to have a little bit of a mix when it comes to resident input and feedback about these projects. But overall, the community and in the character area plan, which was character area plan 6, Overwhelmingly, the residents from 20 public meetings through boards and commissions, neighborhood meetings said we need additional workforce and affordable housing opportunities in this part of the city. So people who are working in the service industry and our teachers and police officers and firefighters can continue to live here in the city of Tempe. And it was overwhelmingly supported by residents in that area.
Okay, as far as North Tempe is concerned and this hub, North Tempe,
Yes.
Is there a developer involved? When does the dirt start to move, or is it all contingent on the bond election?
There's a portion of it that is contingent on the bond election, which is more or less the police training facility and the police substation. But the rest of it, we got money from the federal government through a partnership with Congressman Stanton. We got money from the Maricopa County Board of Supervisors, working very closely with Jack Sellers. And so, frankly, that will happen regardless. But we're still very much in the early phases. The property was only purchased at the end of June, beginning of July. So we would still have to go through the RFP or request for proposal process to find a developer who could deliver on all these buildings.
Got existing leases to worry about as well.
That's the other thing as well. You know, we try to be very, very careful to work with small business owners who've been there for quite some time to ensure that they're taken care of. As a matter of fact, I was meeting last week with a barber who's out there who's been there for 17 years in that same location, and two other folks, one who owned a restaurant and one who owns a dentist office. And we were talking about trying to find ways to ensure that they're not trying to stop the progress that's happening in the city. They see the good that the city's trying to do, but they just want to make sure that they're taken care of in the process and they're not just simply displaced.
All right, Tempe Mayor Corey Woods, lots going on. Good to have you here. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you again, Ted.